Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite cartoons might just be making a comeback. With the recent news of the regular show creator J.G. Quintel rumoring the show to come back with over 40 episodes, Adventure Time releasing 2 spin-off series, and The Amazing World of Gumball returning with a 7th season, best believe your boy is hyped. Whether you're a baby with a pacifier stuck in your mouth, a struggling college student procrastinating on a paper, or a 40-year-old man behind on taxes, I'm under the belief that cartoons are for everyone and there's a demographic that'll suit you no matter the niche. But nowadays, there's not a lot of cartoons in the mainstream that are as captivating as they once used to be. The last time we've truly seen groundbreaking cartoons were probably in the early 2010s decade, and since then, quality cartoons just simply disappeared. Nowadays, it's so rare to see cartoons that are just as popular and groundbreaking as some television series or anime for that matter. In fact, the only cartoon from the 2020s that have been truly great is probably Smiling Friends. That junk is hilarious. I'm willing to concede that maybe, and just maybe, I'm living under a rock and could be missing out on great cartoons. That's what the comment section's for, so leave some recommendations. However, Kings, there was a time where we used to eat. I'd even go a step further and argue that we as consumers were spoiled with the amount of content we received back in the day. Now, I'm not a 90s kid, but growing up in the early 2000s allowed me to catch the popular reruns of cartoon shows that were popular at that time, and boy, there were classics left, right, and center. Excellent examples include Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, Hey Arnold, Ed, Edd n Eddy, and the biggest cartoon of all time, Spongebob SquarePants. Cartoons were such a fun media to consume back then. Back then, cartoons used to genuinely make people laugh and entertain people of many ages. You can tell that these writers and producers gave everything into those shows and were far more creative back then in comparison to today. I mean, we still use SpongeBob memes, and SpongeBob came out almost 2.5 decades ago. Those significant booms of cartoons in that time period would continue to steamroll into the 2000s and even the 2010s. In the early 2000s, we were blessed with classics including Chowder, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Misadventures of Flapjack, Camp Lazlo, Billy and Mandy, Codenamed Kids Next Door, Teen Titans, and so much more. That's honestly just scratching the surface. Week in and week out, we'd get incredible cartoon shows with great art and concepts that inspired and entertained us frequently. Imagine this, coming home after a long day of school and seeing the lineup of your favorite cartoons and what was going to be on TV that night. Simply incredible. And that was just Cartoon Network alone. Nickelodeon had mega bangers too. Nickelodeon once had Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and Rugrats all within the same lineup. Even Disney Channel used to cook as well. Shows like Phineas and Ferb, Kim Possible, The Proud Family, and Lizzie McGuire. Technically. But you get my point. The 2000s were a goldmine of cartoons. Being born in this era of cartoons and witnessing classics air from back to back to back on multiple channels in real time is an experience I'm just never gonna get back. Also, something really special in that time period was when multiple shows would collaborate and make crossover episodes. I can't explain it, but you just had to be there. Seeing your favorite shows come together to create one big episode was insane. A few examples I can think of include the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour episode, try saying that 5 times fast, or Johnny Bravo linking up with Scooby-Doo. Seeing hypotheticals on how certain characters would act in other cartoon universes coming to fruition was an incredible experience. Even Adult Swim cartoons were pretty hilarious to watch back then as well. That's right, when I was a kid, I was watching adult cartoons. Go ahead, officer, arrest me. But boy, did I love watching adult cartoons. American Dad was hilarious to watch because Stan being a terrible father to his children really brought the show together. And now that I'm thinking about it, all these main characters in these shows were terrible fathers, and that's what made the show funny. So, I don't know, that's weird. However, if I were to choose my favorite out of the bunch, it'd easily be Family Guy. The intro is catchy, the plot is simple, and overall thematics gives this cartoon a lot more structure than people give credit for, especially when they pan away to some random flashback that has absolutely no correlation to the main plot point. There's also so many adult cartoons that people past the age of 16 will enjoy and not think is too kiddish for them. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, King of the Hill, The Boondocks, Afro Samurai, or even Rick and Morty. No matter how you slice it, there's clearly a market demand for cartoons, no matter the age or demographic. A lot of cartoons varied and had diverse plots that people can choose to dabble in. If you wanted to laugh at stupid crap, Robot Chicken was your go-to. If you wanted to feel something funny but also had thoughtful messaging in the cartoon, The Boondocks are your friend. Even in the early 2010s, when cartoons arguably reached its peak from Regular Show and Adventure Time dominating the slot times to Gravity Falls and Kick Buttowski holding us down all summer long, we were really blessed. The point is, there was a time where cartoons were prevalent in media and even dominated TV at one point. I almost have to feel for the new generation of kids that have to watch what's on today because they have to watch trash in comparison to what we had. Either they're watching horrible, watered down iteration of shows of old to nostalgia bait people to watch to get more ratings, or watching cartoons that just simply don't hit the mark at all. I mean, think about it for a second. Kids of this generation have to grow up on Teen Titans Go and Uncle Grandpa. What in the world is an Uncle Grandpa? This show is ass, and the title pisses me off even more. And Clarence, don't even get me started on this idiot. Y'all think Patrick from Spongebob is dumb? This dude is a million times worse. King Theodore, chill. Isn't he like an 8-year-old? I don't care. I'll rap battle him if I got to. What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a cartoon. His real name's Clarence. I don't care how mean I sound. These cartoons are trash, and the fact that kids have to grow up with these cartoons should be a crime within itself. In some cases, you gotta feel for these kids nowadays because they got nothing of quality to watch. I think I read a statistic that cable is losing customers more and more with each passing year, and probably includes kids not watching cartoons because the quality just isn't there. I get that kids turn to streamers and YouTubers for entertainment nowadays, but I think a reason that could be is because mainstream doesn't have any good cartoons for kids to watch anyways. Now, I know earlier in the video I said I had issues with some remakes of cartoons from the past. The TV show Velma sticks out like a sore thumb for an example like this. Many people loved Scooby-Doo and the laughs it brought people, so when Velma came out, people thought it'd do the same thing, and those people were very wrong. Look, I'm not the type of guy to point out politics and say something like, oh look, they made it political. But the stuff they say in this show, utter woke nonsense. This show does everything opposite of what made Scooby-Doo originally funny and forces stupid stereotypes about political views and gender war in there, and it's actually pure garbage. Shoving garbage messaging down people's throats and nostalgia baiting people to give an awful show like this a chance is always going to be a recipe for disaster. And people really wonder why cartoons fell off, and this is one of the reasons. However, for the revivals of shows like Regular Show, The Amazing World of Gumball, Phineas and Ferb, and more, I think it'll be way different. The original creators of these shows will have full ownership over the sequel processes, and if that's the case, I'm all for letting them cook. Typically, whenever a sequel is announced, it usually doesn't involve the original creator that made the series what it became, and you often see the quality take a huge nosedive. It loses the essence of what made the show what it was supposed to be like, hence why people do not enjoy the obvious cash-grabbing sequels. In all honesty, if I get to see a satisfying finale of The Amazing World of Gumball, Mordecai and Rigby all grown up with their children, or the potential of Phineas and Ferb actually going to school with all the original creators behind it instead of the nonsense released today, I'm all for it. I have a lot of faith in these revivals, so let's see what happens. If you're excited for the revivals of cartoons, let me know which ones in the comments section, and let me know your favorite cartoon. I'll make sure to like them. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and until we meet again, have a wonderful day, keep it 100, and I'm out. Peace.